Hey everyone, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Today we are doing a podcast again. Why? Well, we are getting the new Online Big Blue studios up and running. We are going to be doing a show next week for the kickoff of the season. So today we thought we want to get some content up, and we really just want to do a quick podcast. And today's content is going to be about Daniel Jones, the preseason, and the Turk. What to expect from Daniel Jones in this last game against the Patriots. Honestly, he's going to be going up against second-teamers, third-teamers, and grocery baggers. I expect him to play well. I know he's not going to have his full complement of receivers and offensive line because it's the final game of the preseason. But if you are taking 6 overall in the NFL draft, your talent level should be higher than a guy that's going to be working at Pep Boys come the end of this month. Plain and simple. I expect maybe, a couple good deep throws, a couple good deep passes, Actually, I like to see him read more through his progressions, and I would like to see him work more on his blind side awareness. He got creamed in Cincinnati, and it reminds me of the time that Eli got creamed in Philadelphia during his preseason. I'm not preseason, but his last couple games of the 2004 season. Quarterbacks at his age, they are focused, keeping their eyes downfield, hopefully. They're not always looking at the protection on the line. And, of course, the blind side is always the bugaboo of any NFL quarterback. But as you progress more into the season and into your career, you sense the pressure now. You feel the pressure. Daniel Jones, a couple times in Cincinnati, did not sense the pressure, did not feel the pressure, and he paid for it big time on that one play. I will say I was very impressed the way he came back the next play and hit the play deep, but, he's going to get himself killed if he doesn't start gaining a little bit of awareness, a little bit of presence in the pocket in that way. So basically, I would just like to see him play the first half, maybe just the first quarter. I'd like to see him go through his progressions more, like I said, go through his reads. Slip and slide a little, feel that protection. I know he definitely has all the abilities and some of the mobility and the arm strength. Like I said, I was a Daniel Jones fan when they took him. I was not a Daniel Jones fan when they took him at 6. I was a Daniel Jones fan if they were going to take him at 17. I've said that numerous times. And I'm not going to get away from that. I'm not going to be like these people that booed him on draft day and be like, and I was always in his corner. No, you weren't in his corner. You were booing him. I didn't boo the pick. I understood the pick. I had a feeling that pick was going to be the pick once the word started coming out the day before the draft that there was an unknown team that was extremely high on Daniel Jones, only because of the fact that I had a feeling that Dwayne Haskins was not the quarterback that the Giants was looking for. Dwayne Haskins, to me, he's too statuesque, does not move well in the pocket. Reminds me of Eli Manning without pocket presence, and that's not what we want. He's got a big wind-up, and if you watched his pro days, he had a tendency to lollipop the deep ball and let his receivers try to run underneath it, which is dangerous at MetLife. Dangerous in any NFL stadium, but you can't do that. It was the difference between like Kyler Murray's pro day when you actually watched him throw. He hit his wide receivers in stride on the deep pass. That's what you want to see. And that's what we want to see from Daniel Jones. But hopefully that's what we're going to see from Daniel Jones. But let's talk about the cutdown day. Cutdown day is this Saturday. The Turk is out. Who are we going to cut? Who are we going to keep? Well, you know what? I see a lot of prognosticators telling us, well, the Giants should keep this person. The Giants keep this person. You know what? Nobody knows. Nobody knows what the coaching staff is thinking. Nobody knows what's been going on every day in practice. The final preseason game is awesome. If there are a couple bubble players, they can't help their cause. But you know what? Most of the time, their cause is helped in practice. A lot of times, the coaches, the position coaches, the head coach, the assistant head coach already have an idea who they want to fill their roster out with, and they're already scanning the waiver wire who potentially will be released. Just because you make the team on Saturday, it does not mean on Sunday you still have a job. The Turk can still come and find you Sunday morning if someone is released that the Giants are high on. I am curious to see what's going to happen with BJ. I am curious to happen what's going to happen with Beal. I am curious to see about the wide receiver position because I feel that there are a couple players that are stand out and played well. Reggie White Jr., I don't see making the team, so I'm going to cross him off the list completely. But there are a couple receivers TJ Jones, I'd like to see on the team. But we have to just wait and see. And I love it because I've talked to people that have played in the NFL, and I've talked to people that have experienced the Turk, and they say it's not like the movies where you hear the steps walking down the hall and someone banging on the door saying, "Coach wants to see you, bring your playbook." Yeah, it does happen, but it's not as dramatic. Most players really know if they're going to get cut or not. You will always have the people on the bubble that are like, "Well, I don't know if I'm going to get cut. I don't know what's going to happen." But you really have an idea just by where you are in practice. If you're on the third team, if you're looking towards a scout team, you got some problems. But I would like to see how the competition plays out. Like I said, I don't like to prognosticate the roster because honestly, like I said, the roster is never changed and never set until after Sunday. So we have to see who hits the waiver wire. What's going to go on this season? You know what? I don't want to give too much away because we are going to have our big launch show on Thursday of next week. Like I said, we are having the new online Big Blue Studios up and ready and roll. That's why we've been doing podcasts. We've been getting the new green screens up. We've been getting the new monitors up. We've been doing a lot to try to make this season special. I would like to thank all the people that have supported us. I think we're up to 800 subscribers strong. Did I ever think we would reach that capacity this quickly? No, I did not. But we've got a lot of great feedback, a lot of great comments, and I really like to thank you guys for for really sticking with us and like I said, through our growing pains and everything else. And hopefully we're going to be able to bring you better and better content consistently, like I said, video-wise, because that is our goal and that has been our goal. Any other things I'd like to address with the Giants? I'd like to see where this season rolls out. I know everyone's excited about Daniel Jones. I understand that. But, there's been so many quarterbacks in preseason that have looked fantastic that have had rotten NFL careers. Vince Young looked fantastic in preseason. I mean, Kent Graham looked great in preseason. I remember a couple games, Scott Bruner looked great. I can remember the other Dave Brown looking good. I mean, I can remember Danny Cannell. I can remember a lot of quarterbacks that, especially on the Giants, that look to have promise. But you know what? It's preseason. The packages are not the same as you would have during the regular season. The defenses are vanilla. Offense is always ahead of the defense in preseason because of the fact that the defense is not throwing anything at the offense. That's why I always say the defense is then usually ahead of the offense with the first couple of weeks of the season because all the packages and everything that the defense was not running in preseason, they are now running. So I cannot sit there and anoint Daniel Jones as the savior right now. I have my fingers crossed that he is, and I have my fingers crossed that we do maybe 9-7 this year. But like I said, I've seen too many Giant teams since 1974 either look great in preseason and then blow it up in the season, or look terrible in preseason and then go on to win the Super Bowl. You don't know. You don't know how the other competition, the NFL, is going to play it. You don't know how Dallas is going to look. You don't know how Washington's going to look. You don't know how Philadelphia's going to look. Washington's got too many problems at quarterback to figure out. Dallas has got too many problems at quarterback and running back to figure out. Their defense should be sound. The Eagles, the Eagles are the Eagles. I mean, doesn't matter if the Eagles are 2-14. We always have a problem with the Eagles. I mean, there was a day not too long ago, a couple years back, that we always beat the Eagles, but it's not that way anymore. So let's just all take a deep breath, like I always tell people, and let's just kind of focus on the season. Let's focus on week 1, and let's just kind of go from there. And like I said, let's see where the cuts take us. I am curious to see if we do pick up an edge somewhere, either in free agency or if we're waiting to see who becomes available on the market after the cut down day. You always have the surprise veterans that get cut. So we just kind of have to wait and see. But I do have a feeling it's going to be a good season. I think the offensive line is really going to gel and move forward, and I really think we are going to do something this year. I mean, I don't know if we're going to make the playoffs. I don't know if we're going to have a winning record. If we went 8-8, I would not be surprised. I would actually be happy because we're showing progress. Pat, I don't know about as a head coach either. I mean, if you look at his track record in Cleveland, it was not too phenomenal. Great offensive coordinator, but you know what? It's like a baseball player who's quadruple A. I mean, he looks great in Triple A. You 10 him over to the majors, and he's got nothing. He's a quadruple A player. So you have to just kind of wait and see. But let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's hope the line gels as well as it's been gelling right now in preseason. Let's get Saquon out there. Let's give him the ball 478 times a game. They won't make the playoffs, but let's just kind of focus on where we are, focus on what we're doing, and like I said, we will be back next Thursday with our first kickoff show of the season. We will be doing shows every Thursday and Monday. We'll do a kickoff show on Thursday and a wrap-up show on Monday. Again, we're also going to be giving away something during the start of the season. I have a couple ideas of what we're going to do. We have a couple really nice prizes I think we're going to be giving away starting week 1 and probably giving away starting the contest week 1 and ending on week 6. We have to wait and see. But again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And let's go Giants, let's go Big Blue, let's get this season going, and let's get this preseason game over. No injuries. Daniel Jones will look awesome, going to season strong, and let's see where we go from there. Thanks.